Nice new intro.
Yeah.
But what's with the clowns?
Well, okay, honestly, I didn't watch it, but
Okay.
I'm letting Tori express herself.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
Yeah.
I'm sure Tori enjoyed that.
Yeah. So, all right. So we are now talking about what gives him the right.
Him being Jesus.
Yeah, the picture's obviously Jesus.
Okay.
Or Patrick Duffy. But yeah, so what gives him the right? Now, you might be thinking, what's that referring to? That's a good question. When last we met, Jesus was preaching a sermon that nobody was comfortable with. He was making everybody upset because he was not saying what they expected. He told the people things like, your idea of the kingdom is wrong. They believed that Jesus was coming to set up an earthly kingdom, and he's going to be king and kill all the Romans, but they were being oppressed by a much more sinister oppressor than the Romans. That was sin. Jesus had to show up this first time to deal with the oppressor of sin. And this kingdom wasn't an earthly kingdom, wasn't a political kingdom. It's an eternal kingdom. And their idea about how to join the kingdom was way off. They thought if they lived the law perfectly, and they just were around when the Messiah showed up, they would grab a sword and miraculously kill all the Romans. But Jesus said, no, being a part of the kingdom is not about that. And the only way to get in is to be perfect, as God is perfect, which everyone knew that's not possible. So he's really making even just normal people kind of, what is this all about?
They're kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then their cherished leaders, he called them out. He said during the sermon, hey, if you want to get into heaven, you got to be more holy than all these cherished leaders that you have, these Pharisees and scribes.
And they certainly did not like hearing that.
No, they did not. And so, the answer to what gives him the right, and you noticed I used the proper punctuation, what gives him the right. I don't do English good.
That's okay. The idea's there.
At least I spelled all the words correctly.
That's okay.
Yes. I'm looking at them. What? Carry the D. So the answer to the question, what gives Jesus the right, is that Jesus can do
miracles.
Magic.
Miracles.
Yeah, okay. I've read the story. They use the word miracles.
That's true. Miracles.
It was an M word. I knew it was an M word.
You were close.
I just missed it by a few pages in the dictionary. Got it. All right.
Okay.
So what gives Jesus the right? Well, his miracles demonstrate that he has authority, that he actually is the boss of all this stuff. He's in charge of all this stuff, so he has a right to say what he wants about it, and he has a right to do with this new kingdom what he wants. And he's going to show that he has authority by doing miracles that involve the human body. To the ancient person, the human body, and to us, it's the main thing we deal with every day.
Mm-hmm.
And how much authority do you have for your body to not sweat? None. Or when I get sweaty, my armpits smell like hamburgers. I have no control over that.
Moving on. Okay.
Moving on. So, but Jesus does some miracles that show that he has authority and power over the human body. And Jesus does some miracles that involve the natural world. If he can control the natural world, he is somebody that should be listened to. And then we're going to see that Jesus, what gives him the right? Well, he has authority over the spiritual world. And so when we start putting all these things together, Jesus is implying something very, 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 very important. Not only does he have authority over these things, what type of person has complete control over the human body, the natural world, and the spiritual world?
No person.
No person, but
God.
Yeah, God. One day, when Jesus came down from the hill, large crowds followed him. Then a man suffering from leprosy came to him.
What's leprosy?
Great question. Leprosy is something that a leper has.
You are correct. But just to be clear, leprosy is a horrible skin disease. It was greatly feared back in the day. It literally rotted your body until you started losing body parts.
Ah!
Yes, real bad.
That's awful. Wow, that makes a lot of these stories way more serious.
Pretty serious.
I just thought they didn't have lotions and creams back then.
Okay, go ahead and continue. Thank you.
Okay, so this guy had this disease where fangs fell off. And he looked at Jesus and said, "Sir, if you want to, you can make me clean." Jesus reached out and touched him.
He reached out and touched him.
That's a lot more gross now.
Yeah, and very shocking. That was something you did not do. Lepers were put aside into their own communities to stay away from everybody because it was so contagious.
That's why they said unclean.
Unclean.
I just thought they didn't have lotions, creams, or deodorant.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Jesus said, reached out and touched him. Jesus said, I do want to heal you. And Jesus said, be clean. And at once, the man was healed of his disease. Aww. Now, of course, this story is here to show that Jesus has authority over
the human body.
Yeah, he's able to heal it.
I mean, it made it to where other people could touch him. He was completely clean of something that everybody was afraid of, wanted to keep people away from him. Like, it was terrifying for people back then. And then all of a sudden, he's healed.
He's healed. Yeah, Jesus has authority. What kind of being can do stuff like that?
I mean, only God.
Yeah, so Jesus, there's a lot going on here. Not only is Jesus demonstrating his authority to say what he said, sort of showing who he is. All right, the next story here. Jesus got into a boat, and his disciples went with him. Suddenly, a fierce storm hit the sea, and the boat was in danger of sinking. But Jesus was asleep. The disciples went to him and woke him up. "Save us, Lord," they said. "We are about to die." "Why are you so frightened?" Jesus answered. "What little faith you have." Then he got up and ordered the winds and the waves to stop, and there was a great calm. Everyone was amazed. "What kind of man is this?" they said. "Even the winds and the waves obey him."
Absolutely. What kind of man is this?
Yeah. What part of kind of the world does this show that Jesus has authority over?
He has authority over the natural world.
Yeah. Why do you think Jesus chose to show his authority over the natural world this way, at a sea with a storm?
Well, a lot of the disciples came from the background of being fishermen. And one of the scariest things they could think of was a storm that was fierce and scary.
Yeah.
I mean, it even says in the story that they were frightened. They thought they were going to die.
Yeah.
Now they're in this boat. Now, boat, not an ocean liner, not a cruise ship, not a tanker, not something big. This is a small boat.
Yeah.
And the kind of storm they were facing would have shredded that boat, within a little while.
Yeah.
And that's why they were so afraid. And so showing the fishermen that he had control over that was really shocking to them.
Yeah. Yeah, out on this sea, they were completely exposed. This should have been the end. They knew they had a miracle worker with them, so they went to him. But Jesus simply got up and said, "Storm, stop." Probably just wanted to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
But when he said stop,
It stopped immediately.
Yeah. And so they were shocked. What kind of person is this? Well, he is someone who has authority over not just the body, but also the natural world. Even now, can we control storms?
No, we can't even predict weather. The weathermen are awful.
No. So it's still a problem. We're better at it a little bit, but it's still a problem. But Jesus had no difficulties whatsoever.